For as long as I can remember, I have loved to walk. I've had stints of running in between, but my love for walking has just persisted right through to adulthood. I've walked in many different sort of situations. I love walking through the streets of cities. I love walking through mountainous areas, long, wide jeep tracks. And I think back to the days that I used to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning when I was living in Lakeside and used to take walks in the dark over Boys Drive, not particularly safe, but something that I absolutely loved doing and that would always set me up for the day. So in as much as running has been something I've loved doing, my body just isn't handling that anymore. I had a spine op in 2021 and that obviously limited my ability to run, and walking has now become something that I am extremely passionate about. And so much so that I've often thought about doing a Camino, and there are several Caminos in South Africa. There's the Hermanus Camino, there is the Baviaanskloof Camino, there is the Bethesda Camino. And the thing that has sort of stopped me from signing up and taking part in one of those is the fact that in as much as some of those groups are really small, you are always with a group of people. Now, I love people, but when it comes to walking and as a form of exercise and as a form of recreation and meditation, I prefer to walk alone. And in those sort of organized Caminos, you are invariably going to be with people that want to walk with you, and that is not my ideal. So walking is something that is a form of movement that I absolutely love. It's a great way to exercise, and it's a wonderful process for me in terms of just thinking, and reflecting on life and plans and our future together. So walking is something that is very, very close to my heart. In December 2024, Craig and I chose to spend Christmas in the Baviaanskloof at Speekhout Farm in their fantastic tree house. And the reason we decided to go to the Baviaanskloof is we absolutely love the landscape, we love the solitude, and the fact that it's really quite a wild, untamed space. So our plans were to spend a couple of nights at Speekhout, and it was at that time, one of the evenings that we were sitting on the stoep, that we started talking about me walking the Baviaanskloof as a form of my own Camino, my own solo Camino. And Craig, being a filmmaker, said, well, why don't we make this a joint effort? You do the walk and I'll do the filming. And it became a little project that was birthed at Speekhout Farm in the Baviaanskloof. And that's basically where it all started, and where a couple of months of planning obviously came into play, and we got ready to do this very exciting project together. The route is 135 kilometers from the top of Zanvlakte Pass to the Combrinks campsite. So that is about 20 kilometers a day over a 7-day period. I think it's manageable, but of course, having never done it before, you have to be in it to actually know what the experience is going to be like, but I do think it will be manageable. There is a lot of preparation that needs to be done ahead of the time in terms of gear and getting my fitness levels to the required level to actually do this. And I think it's a really great exercise to do prior to doing something bigger, hopefully internationally one day, which is the ultimate dream. So on my sort of day-to-day walks when I'm at home, all I really need is a good pair of walking shoes. But obviously with a project like this, you need to be equipped with the right gear and kit and nutrition. So part of our planning involved acquiring various things like a proper vest that I could walk in and carry various things, and a really, really great pair of trail shoes. Craig gifted me with a fantastic Garmin watch, which has not left my wrist. It's going to track my heart rate, distance, steps, so much more. I'm going to spend the afternoon fiddling with it and just having a look at the features and getting it all set up. But here it is. Super exciting. Ta-da! All my kit has arrived. I can't wait to unbox this. I think the thing I'm most excited about are these incredible shoes. So I'm about to open the boxes and have a look at everything, get comfortable in all the gear. I have been so excited to see these in the flesh. The big challenge now is, or the big debate now is whether they're going to fit or not. Look at these, they are fantastic. Absolutely lovely. I wanted a very, very, very big chunky sole. Vuma Energy Fuel Gel, Rehydrate, and Protein Water. This is really interesting. And here's this cool little vest. We're very fortunate in that where we live, we have direct access to a 4 kilometre and a 6 kilometre loop, which is really great for a quick little training session like today. We're 2 weeks away from the walk in Baviaanskloof, and Craig had a couple of questions for Eastern Cape Tourism yesterday regarding the booking of our accommodation and various other details. And we spoke to someone that we hadn't yet liaised with at Eastern Cape Tourism. And she actually said to us, contrary to what Craig had cleared verbally with another staff member there a couple of months ago, she said it's not actually allowed me walking or anyone walking through the Baviaanskloof, even supported in a vehicle. So we do have a plan B in place, but we really, really, really do want to stick with our original plan, which I haven't lost hope over. I'm really hoping we can do it. Because for me, as the person doing the walking, I would love to be able to say at the end of it all that I walked right through the Baviaanskloof. Through the training process, I was not feeling great physically. I started developing plantar fasciitis pain in my hips, my lower back, having had an op in 2021, a spinal fusion and decompression op, and all these little things seemed to emerge as we approached the day to start the walk. So Craig and I decided it wouldn't be a bad idea if I went to see a chiropractor, which I did. I went for a couple of sessions and they did some dry needling. He sort of moved me around a little bit, as much as he could, given the fact that I've had a spine op. He couldn't be too rough. I wasn't feeling 100% well physically before I embarked on this walk, which is why when it did actually start, I started out surprisingly strong. We made a decision to visit De Hoop Nature Reserve in the Overberg as a sort of location for a dress rehearsal. It was important for me to really put in a long walk in new shoes, in my vest, and for Craig in particular, to test out his camera equipment and filming equipment. We're at the Holgat Nature Reserve in the Overberg, a very, very beautiful location, one of many visits to this lovely place. And the idea is that I will do roughly a 15-kilometer walk tomorrow from our cottage to the dunes along a very wide, easy gravel road. I am really looking forward to it because a lot of my training of late has been on the treadmill just because we've had a lot of work to do and it hasn't really been convenient to get out much. So there is an incentive to finish this walk sooner rather than later, and that is the fact that breakfast at the Holgat is served up until 10 o'clock. So I've kind of got 3 hours in which to do 15 kilometers. Obviously with stops along the way. So with yesterday's 15-kilometer walk, which was pretty much on a flat all the way, I thought it would be a good idea that on our way out from De Hoop this morning, I do a 5-kilometer walk from reception to the main gate. Reason being, it includes about a 1.5-kilometer steep incline walk on tar, unfortunately, but I do feel that I need to get in some hills. So that's what I'm going to do. It's a beautiful day, quite a bit of cloud cover, fortunately, so it's not too hot, and it's a short one, so off I go. Okay, so this was an interesting hill. It started off very, very gradually, and then all of a sudden at a curve, it just suddenly became extremely steep. As you can hear, I'm quite out of breath, but I've managed it okay. I can't really see ahead whether I'm getting close to the top, but it's been a good exercise. I'm really glad I've done it. It was a great little walk. It was short, but quite strenuous. You know, starting at least 2 hours later than yesterday made a big difference. It was already hot when I started out, but pleasant. Fortunately, as I mentioned before, there was a lot of cloud cover, so there was relief from time to time. It was a real climb. And then it just sort of straightened out quite soon after that, so it was great. My heart's racing a little bit, but I'm very glad I did it. We left Stellenbosch for Speekhout Farm in Baviaanskloof in beautiful clear weather. I remember thinking as we entered Bergplaas Pass that the following day I'd be walking this exact stretch of road, day one of my personal Camino. We arrived late at Speekhout, but we managed to get unpacked just before the sun set, and I am so grateful for the fact that Pauline managed to do 2 fabulous lasagnas for us for the 2 nights that we're in the treehouse. arriving late, we're hungry, we're tired, so I have this incredible meal in front of me, which I'm going to pop into the microwave. When I say I'm hungry, I really am like hungry. And this is going into the microwave and then into my tummy. So we're setting off to the top of Bergplaas Pass, which is where I will start my walk. I'm feeling quite relaxed. I was a little bit concerned about the fact that we had rain throughout the night, but it's cleared partially. It's still quite overcast, but a lovely cool first day of walking, so I'm really happy about that. So I've arrived at the start point, and I really was not expecting this kind of weather. It's super misty. I said to Craig on our way up, it kind of feels a little bit like Holgat Pass for some strange reason. It's quite eerie, but there were definitely patches of sunlight on our drive up, so I'm pretty sure that within the next hour or so it will have cleared. So I'm going to set my watch shortly and be on my way. It came as quite a surprise when we arrived in the Baviaanskloof to rain yesterday, and quite a lot through the night, and missed early this morning as we left Speekhout Farm. So we had to backtrack. We came in through Bergplaas Pass yesterday, and then this morning we backtracked about 17 kilometers to the top of the pass again, which is where my walk started from. And visibility was not great, but it was really interesting as the light started to come through. Beautiful light on the rock formations and beautiful meandering roads with these towering mountains on either side, or at least rock formations on either side. Just really beautiful. Stopped several times to take photographs. I'm glad I started early, because it is now really starting to get hot. The walk has been great thus far. I'm feeling strong, motivated, enthusiastic, as one would on the first day. So I really hope I can keep up that momentum for the next 8 days or so. But so far so good. I have a little bit of pain, a little bit of plantar fasciitis pain, and sort of tweaks of pain in my right hip, but that's been a sort of ongoing kind of low-grade pain that I've had for several months, and it just is not showing any signs of disappearing. So I'm approaching Holgat Caves now, and it's just so lovely walking in this environment. One simply can't get bored. There is an ever-changing landscape that I'm walking through. But now that the sun is out again and I'm walking on this road, approaching Holgat, and then about 5 kilometers from there, I will arrive at Speekhout, where we are spending our second night. And then tomorrow we're heading off on the second leg of the journey, which is to Baviaanskloof, and there's accommodation there as well. And the distance is roughly the same, about 17 kilometers. Yay! Day one done and dusted. Here I am at the entrance gate to Speekhout Farm. I'm feeling strong. So that's it, day one done. 17 kilometers, 3 hours, 50 minutes, which is really not too bad. I had several bush stops, stopped to eat once or twice, but for the most part I was moving consistently. So day one done and dusted. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I've broken the seal now. What I have realized today is that it's super important to set off early because it's really getting hot as we approach midday. And it's been fantastic. It's just been so wonderful walking through this landscape. Day two was from the gate of Speekhout. Now we had spent the night there the night before, so it was a really short drive from the tree house to the entrance of the farm, and that's where I started my walk. And it was roughly 17 kilometers from Speekhout Farm to Baviaanskloof, and they have accommodation there as well. We had booked a beautiful little cottage called Holgat, and that was to be our overnight stay. It's tiny, it's very basic, quite rudimentary, but everything that we needed to be comfortable. And we had a few visits from monkeys, and it was just fantastic. I could do some hand washing, and we really just relaxed. So I'm feeling really strong, excited to set off today. I didn't sleep particularly well last night, but from a physical point of view, I'm feeling really strong. Today I'm walking with the Georgian flag on my vest, Georgia being Georgia in Eastern Europe, a country that is very, very close to my heart. A place that we have visited twice in the past, and they're having a very difficult time politically, a lot of political turmoil as a result of their fight for democracy and their return to a European path, an EU path. It's an incredible country, very small, relatively unknown in terms of the tourism market. Not only have we visited there and just totally fallen in love with the country, we also have friends there. Georgians that were first my students and have now become almost like family. So I figure that if they can be out protesting and fighting for their democracy day in and day out for over 100 days, then the least I can do is walk through the Baviaanskloof. And I think about them all the time. I think about the country and I think about my friends there. They're very top of mind. So that's day two out the way. Very hot the last half an hour, but it was a lovely, lovely walk. There were some pretty monotonous sections, the part just before the home run, was just probably about 6 kilometers of dead straight road with nothing spectacular to look at, but I put music in my ears and just filled my thoughts with the rest of this adventure. So with today's walk finishing at Baviaanskloof, we thought it's a great opportunity for us to have something to eat after quite a long morning. And then we realized it's Sunday and they're actually closed to the public. But I walked up onto the front stoep and there was a lady inside that said she had just come in to do something. And when I spoke to her about the walk that we've just done and the fact that we are too early to check into our accommodation across the road, she said she'll make an exception for us very, very kindly, and I really didn't expect it, to make us some food. So we have shade, we have ordered some lunch, and we have Wi-Fi. So this is a great opportunity for us to chill just before we get to the accommodation. So today I'm so happy, the weather is fantastically cool. We had rain last night. I have a 19-kilometer walk ahead of me, which is the longest thus far. I'm walking to Bergplaas Farm. In the first kilometer there are 5 river crossings that I have to get through, so I don't know what the depth is, and after last night's rain it's possible some of them might be quite deep. So either I have to use my water shoes or I can go through barefoot. And the first one is right ahead of me. So I'm going to go and check it out now. And hopefully, just for the sake of time, I don't have to put my water shoes on. But I am carrying a little towel with me in my vest to dry my feet off on the other side. It looks like it's about 10 centimeters deep. I was hoping that I could just maybe walk through with my shoes, but the water will definitely get into my shoes, which can't happen. So there are about 78 low-level bridges in the Baviaanskloof. Between 20 and 30 of them have water throughout the year. Beautiful cool weather. We had rain overnight and the little cottage has a tin roof, so we fell asleep listening to the rain on the tin roof. It was just fantastic. We really slept well, and everything around me is still quite wet. The roads are a little bit slippery and muddy. Water crossings, there have been 5 with water in them and 1 or 2 dry riverbeds, or at least low-level crossings. And it's been a bit of a mission having to take my shoes and socks off at the start of each crossing, walk across, take my towel out, dry my feet off, and put my socks and shoes back on again. So it has taken up a bit of time, but it's fine. Those river crossings I think are behind me for the day, but let's see. The vegetation is incredible. It's changed quite a lot. It's very green. And the contrast of the green against these beautiful rock formations is really gorgeous. So a lovely cool walk, 19 kilometers today, which is the longest stretch thus far. And I think I should probably be done, all going well, by about 12 o'clock today. I must say that, and I've mentioned this before, the fact that I'm going from one point to another is really so motivating, and I feel very inspired to walk each day. I suspect that in the next hour or so, as does happen, the sun is going to come beating down. And that was day 3. And really, it has been the prettiest and most scenic day thus far. It really started out so beautifully, so many shallow river crossings, very kind of subtropical vegetation almost, and the usual beautiful rock formations, labourers' cottages, aloe forests. It was fantastic. We just arrived at Baviaanskloof guest farm and we're a bit early to check in, which is absolutely fine. There's Wi-Fi, but more importantly, there is a swimming pool in the general area on the property, and I'm about to take my shoes and socks off and I'm going to put my feet into this beautiful cold water. It's such a relief. It was a beautiful walk today and we're looking forward to just taking it easy. I need to stretch as well. This is such a pleasure. It's almost like they knew I was coming. Day 4 was from Baviaanskloof Farm to the West Gate, which is essentially the start of the wilderness area, and the area that I was a little bit nervous about, although I would only enter it the following day. It was a fantastic walk. We passed the accommodation that we were booked in to stay in on that particular night, but I walked past it, 4 kilometers past it to get to the West Gate. And then we returned to Zanvlakte farm, which is a really, really lovely guest farm in the Baviaanskloof, always quite busy. I stopped briefly at Zanvlakte farm before doing the last 4 kilometers of that day's walk. And 2 of the dogs belonging to Zanvlakte farm decided to follow me for that entire 4 kilometers from Zanvlakte farm to the West Gate. I'm about to set off on day 4. It's a short one today, 13 kilometers to the West Gate from Baviaanskloof Farm. The idea is that I'll walk to the West Gate and then our accommodation is 3 minutes back. So then we'll drive back to our accommodation at Zanvlakte. It's been such beautiful weather for walking. I must say that had I done this walk sort of January, beginning of February, it wouldn't have been much fun from a temperature point of view. But things are going really well. I have a few aches and pains. My shins and my ankles are burning a bit, but that's to be expected because of the distances that I'm covering consecutively, and I didn't sleep particularly well last night, which is, I'm not going to have a good night's rest every single night, because we're in a different bed, different pillows every night on this trip. The nature is fantastic, very green, very beautiful. Skies are overcast, and I'm not quite halfway through yet, but yeah, so far so good. I'm feeling all in all quite strong. So I've just arrived at Zanvlakte, which is where we're staying tonight, but it came along so unexpectedly. I just came over this rise and there it was. So it was a really great walk, and it felt extremely short. So I've walked 9 kilometers from Baviaanskloof to Zanvlakte. I'm now going to continue on to the West Gate, where the walk ends for today, and then I'll hop into the Jimny and we'll come back here to spend the night. We've got a whole welcoming brigade here of dogs, and there too. So I'm going to head off and do the last 4 kilometers. So that's the end of day 4. I walked from Bergplaas Farm to the West Gate, which is 13 kilometers. It was a lovely walk, really easy, comfortable, beautiful weather conditions, a few baboons along the way, some cows, the usual sort of Baviaanskloof animal activity. I'm now standing at the West Gate of the Baviaanskloof, where my walk ended today. We are going to backtrack to Zanvlakte Farm, where we are spending the night. And then tomorrow I start my walk here at the West Gate. I'll be walking as far as I can tomorrow, and then once tomorrow's walk is done, we will come back out the West Gate and stay at a campsite called Laaste, which is a campsite just before the West Gate. The reason why we are coming out the West Gate again to stay at Laaste is there is no accommodation for 36 kilometers in the wilderness area. We are at Zanvlakte Farm, and Craig ordered dinner for the evening, and they brought it to us in our little cottage. It just looks sensational. A beautiful salad, roast lamb, savory rice, what looks like butternut malva pudding, a beautiful, beautiful farm dinner presented so nicely, exactly what we need. It's been a fantastic afternoon that we've just been able to relax after a short walk today. So it's nice that we have all the sustenance to prepare us for tomorrow, which is going to be between 16 and 20 kilometers.
On day 5, we left Zanvlakte Farm early to the West Gate, where I'd finished the day before. And something I'll never forget is, as we arrived, we had several troops of monkeys just emerging from the forest, running across the gate. Craig managed to film that in my vlog on that morning. It was fantastic. That day I was feeling quite nervous because I was entering the West Gate and into the wilderness area. Of course, I was quite nervous about possibly crossing paths with rhinoceros or buffalo, but that never happened at the end of the day. Today is day 5. We've just driven from Zanvlakte Farm to the West Gate. We're just waiting for them to open. Gates open at 7:30. Today I'm going to walk
either 16 kilometers to the foot of Grasnek Pass, or I am going to do the walk from the bottom of the pass right up to the top, which will take me to 21 kilometers. So I'd really like to do the 21, but it all depends on how I'm feeling by the time I complete the 16. We are going into the wilderness area, which means that we're going into quite a wild area in terms of there being wildlife like buffalo and rhino, but I'm feeling fine about it. Craig will be within sight all the time, and the weather is spectacular. There is so much dappled light around, which is great. Monkeys behind me, which is just incredible. They look so amazing. They're completely backlit and they're running around all over the show. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today's walk. I think it's going to be hot eventually. So let's see how far I progress, 16 or 21 kilometers. So I'm about a kilometer in from my walk from the West Gate and have already encountered a water crossing. This one looks very, very pebbly. It's not a concrete bottom one, so it calls for the water shoes. So, and I'm not too sure how deep it is either. It's quite murky and dark, so it's difficult to tell. But yeah, let's go for an early morning wade. For the 59-kilometer wilderness area stretch, we use two-way radios to alert one another of potential wildlife threats, as we were occasionally out of immediate sight of one another. The weather forecast was spot on. They said today was going to be hot and clear, and it absolutely is. You know, up until now, the weather has been quite overcast. It's been lovely to walk, but we have very hot conditions today. So I want to try and get this walk done as quickly as possible. We have been cautioned about wild animals, buffalo and rhino in particular. So I've said to Craig that under no circumstances must we lose sight of one another. I am kind of white-knuckling it at the moment. I feel quite exposed and vulnerable. But I'm sure as the walk progresses, I'll relax a bit more. But I'm clutching the radio at my side and very nervous.
So there have been a couple of sections that are either ridiculously muddy and murky and deep that I have not been able to walk through, and this is one of them. So the first little section looks fine, and then it just suddenly becomes mud. So that's where I hook onto the side of the chimney, as I am, and Craig takes me through.
So I take my love and
really lovely. I've just come through a river crossing, and I just started walking, and a bakkie approached, and it was two of the Eastern Cape tourism officials, and in the passenger seat was Leletu, the person that facilitated access through the wilderness area. So it was really great to meet her. She's an absolute delight. It just kind of personalizes this whole experience for me to actually have met the person that went to a lot of trouble to allow me to, or to gain permission for me to walk through the wilderness area. So that was fabulous. Okay, so that concludes day 5. It was the first hot day of this entire walk. I'm pretty sure now, having finished at around midday, it's probably about 34 degrees. No wildlife encounters, fortunately, other than a couple of buck and some baboons, but no rhino, no buffalo. I was really quite nervous about that. So I had this big mental battle in terms of, do I do Grasnek Pass now, which is an extra 5 kilometers. I feel like I am physically capable of doing it, but with the heat, I don't want to risk things like heat stroke and then just blow this entire walk completely. So common sense dictates that I stop here at the 16 kilometer mark, which is where we are now. So I walked from the West Gate to here, 16 kilometers. This is pretty much the foot of the pass where I will start walking tomorrow. Unfortunately, tomorrow, because the gates only open at 7:30, and it's going to take us about an hour to drive the distance that I walked today, I'll only be walking at about 8:30, 8:45 tomorrow morning. So by then it's already getting quite hot. Although we have checked the weather forecast, and thus far it's looking like we might get cooler weather, so I wouldn't mind even a little bit of rain. But today has been quite a test in terms of the heat. I've had to drink a lot of water, and I can't believe that the 16 kilometers ended right here at a river that we are going to swim in right now. I am so excited. Craig and I swam in this river many years ago when we came through Baviaanskloof on a motorcycle. So it's quite sentimental as well. So we're going to have a swim and then head back through the West Gate to Laaste camp, where we are going to spend the night. I felt that I had it in me physically to do the pass, but with the heat beating down on my head at like 34, 35, even 36 degrees, I decided the sensible thing to do was simply to finish at the foot of Grasnek Pass, which is where I had the most incredible swim. And then we headed back through the West Gate, which was about a half an hour drive. We had to go all the way back. Because accommodation was quite an issue in the wilderness area, there were certain times that we had to backtrack because there isn't an abundance of places to stay between the two gates. So we went back through the West Gate and we spent our first night of camping at Laaste camp. Lovely, lovely, very basic campsite. We were the only people there, but they had really nice showers and it was a very, very pretty place. And we enjoyed it. Our first night of camping was delightful.
Well, that was not a very comfortable night at all. A lumpy mattress. I got cold. We went to bed. It was really hot. Woke up cold in the middle of the night. A little bit of hip pain, but anyway, it's lovely to wake up in nature like this. So.
Today is day 6 and I am back at the point where I finished the 16 kilometers yesterday. From the top of Grasnek Pass, I will make my way down to Rooihoek campsite where we are spending the night. On today's walk, I will be passing through Smitskraal, which is a water crossing, probably the biggest in the Baviaanskloof. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's hot. We got off to a late start today. There was some congestion at the West Gate when we paid to come through. So I need to be on my way and looking forward to the fact that it is a shorter day today because of the heat. I'm just blown away by the incredible views. It is very, very hot, but I'm feeling surprisingly strong. The plan for today is to do 13 kilometers. The walk is to our campsite, which is after Grasnek Pass. And I will also be wading through Smitskraal, but I'm really looking forward to it, just for the cool down. But again, I must just say these views, I've seen them many times before, but to actually experience this landscape on foot is really special. You just get so much more detail, a very sensory experience, and very, very beautiful.
The shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight of the world. What's in a life you never could unfurl?
I've just reached the top of Grasnek Pass, which is the highest point of today's walk. It was fantastic. The views were beautiful. It is hot, but because of the wide open spaces, you do feel a little bit of a breeze, which was very, very welcome. We had cyclists pass us, and it's just been a glorious, glorious walk. I've now got to head down to the campsite. But before we get there, I will be passing through Smitskraal, which is a 200-meter water crossing. So I'm looking forward to that. I think my body is really going to enjoy that cool water.
You were made to soar amongst the clouds, but never learn to rise above these crowds. Stuck in the dust of the life that you found, with nowhere to go, no higher ground. Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight.
So this is Smitskraal, and I must say I've been looking forward to it. It's been even hotter than yesterday. It's a 200-meter long river crossing, and I'm about to head into it. Obviously I have to watch my footfall quite carefully because I don't know what's lying underneath the water.
Although you're earthbound, you're earthbound.
And that is the end of day 6. It was incredibly hot, but Grasnek Pass was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. That was a little bit tough because my knees don't really enjoy downhills, certainly not for extended periods. And then the big highlight, of course, was the opportunity to walk through Smitskraal, which my feet really thanked me for. And then the rest of the way was pretty flat, and then quite unexpectedly, where I was expecting just some kind of rise or a little hill, it ended up being quite a serious pass actually, which I hadn't prepared myself for mentally. But anyway, it wasn't too bad. Once I got to the top, it was easy going to where we are now at Holgat campsite. And I'm really looking forward to getting cold water all over my body. These 2 hot days, yesterday and today, that I've had the opportunity to be in flowing river water. It's so lovely. My legs are so happy. It's been so hot today. So the reason we're here is the campsite doesn't have any facilities, no running water, like nothing, no rubbish bins, nothing. And we're running short of water. So Craig remembered that there was a little river crossing further down, so we have come here to fill up our water bottles. The water seems quite fresh, but at least we've got water now for our dishes and that kind of thing. And enough normal water for drinking, just for one night. It's like wild camping at that place. Today I'm starting day 7, and we spent the night at Holgat campsite. I'm going to descend a little bit, and then I'm going to be climbing the Holgat Pass, and that will take me up to Bergplaas plateau. The walk today is about 13 kilometers. It's fantastically cool at the moment. We had a tiny bit of rain last night. It's overcast, and it is, however, forecast to be about 31 degrees. It's quite humid, so I'm very happy to be starting early at 7 o'clock, and let's see how we go. I'm going to obviously complete the 13, and depending on how I feel, I'll continue a little bit more to make tomorrow a shorter day. my walk started on a little brick pass, which was quite heavy going actually. I think it was quite early in the day for that. My body wasn't really expecting it. Anyway, I managed, and I'm now on the infamous Holgat Pass with its very, very broken up concrete strips. And as I'm walking, I'm thinking about the times that Craig and I have come through on a motorcycle. I've been his pillion, and I think I had my eyes closed most of the way, just because of this very uneven surface. And I always think, bike being on two wheels only, just feels so much more vulnerable. It climbs quite gradually and then it plateaus. So it sort of gives me the opportunity to catch my breath before I continue on my way. So not too bad. I have no idea how far I am from the top. And I'm very, very happy about the weather. So that was Holgat Pass, and it wasn't too bad. The concrete strips are in terrible condition, which of course if you're on foot is not a problem. But I couldn't help thinking to the bikers that pass through here, you really have to know what you're doing. And still no sun, although it seems to be getting a bit lighter. It's been very humid. I really enjoyed this pass. It's long, but the inclines are quite gradual. They're not as steep as I seem to have remembered them to be. And the little brick pass that I climbed when I started on the walk felt a little bit more taxing on the body. But anyway, I've made it through Holgat Pass and I'm going to continue on my way. So I've reached the end of today's sort of scheduled walk of 13 kilometers at the Bergplaas Hut turn-off. I am going to continue on my way because the weather conditions for walking are absolutely ideal. It's cool, the humidity has disappeared, it's overcast and absolutely lovely. I'm feeling surprisingly strong after Holgat Pass, and it would be silly not to continue. So we will be spending the night at Kloof campsite, which is right before the East Gate. So I'm quite tempted to walk that entire way because it's mostly downhill now on Combrinks Pass, very much like the descent yesterday from Grasnek Pass. So I'm really feeling up to it. There's absolutely no heat. It's lovely and cool. There's a little bit of a breeze. Vegetation's beautiful. I'm feeling strong. So I'm going to continue on my way.
Another rainy afternoon, I don't know what I'm to do. I just miss you more than anything. It's way too quiet in the house, I'm just wasted on the couch. Guess I don't wanna feel anything. Wish you'd stay here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here beside me. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Wish you'd stayed here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon. it's getting late. I shouldn't sit here and contemplate. I just can't stop thinking about it. I won't forget a single thing. Drunken nights and Sunday mornings. How you smile at me. Wish you stayed.
Because the rain persisted, we decided not to camp, but to rather spend a night in Potensi and backtrack the following day to start the final leg from the East Gate.
Stay here right with me. I can't shake that feeling that we said goodbye too soon.
I've arrived at the East Gate and I'm so glad I pushed through. The planned route was to finish at Bergplaas Hut, turn off, but the weather was just perfect for walking and I wasn't feeling tired. I still had lots of energy left in me, surprisingly, after Holgat Pass. And here we are at the East Gate, which means that I'm probably going to finish this walk a day early tomorrow from the East Gate to Condomo Gate. It's been cool, it's been fantastic. Combrinks Pass was absolutely amazing and the rain followed shortly after I got to the bottom of the pass, and I've basically been walking in rain and it's been fantastic. It's fresh and wonderful. Today is day 8 and I start my walk at yesterday's finish point, which was the East Gate, and I am doing 18 kilometers to Condomo Gate. It's very, very hot. We had a bit of thunder showers in Potensi yesterday, but it's all cleared, so I need to start soon. It's going to probably be about 34, 35 degrees, and let's see how the day goes. I'm feeling relatively strong and quite motivated. It's going to be a very, very beautiful scenic walk today. I will be passing through citrus farms, tobacco plantations and beautiful, beautiful rock formations. So from that point of view, it's going to be incredible. I've probably walked about 4 or 5 kilometers. It's quite a long 18 kilometers, you know, for the last day, but it's relatively flat. So I'm sure I'll be fine, but the sun is out and it is really, really hot. Now and again I get a little bit of relief when there's some shade from trees where the vegetation's a bit more dense. And there are some big rock formations up ahead. The landscape right now is relatively featureless, but I do have some beautiful citrus farm areas to look forward to, as well as tobacco plantations. And that's Kondomo Gate right ahead of me, about 100 to 200 meters. So I've actually done it. I have walked through the Baviaanskloof. I've walked through water crossings, or at least waded through water crossings. I've climbed big passes, and I've moved through the most incredible wild landscapes, and it's been an incredible experience, and it's about to come to an end. It's ended on a very hot note, but it's been incredible. Wading through water crossings, climbing big mountain passes, incredible scenery. So I'm hot, I'm tired, and it's just been incredible. And it hasn't really quite hit me that I did this in a week. I'm super excited. I'm very happy, and yeah, it's quite a thing that I could do this. And I'm so happy that my husband has been with me, filming the whole experience and being by my side through the very dangerous areas where there was a possibility of dangerous wildlife. But I'm unscathed, no injuries, natural aches and pains after this sort of distance. I'm so happy. There are a number of gravel mountain passes in the Western Cape of South Africa, and one of them is the iconic Swartberg Pass, which is where I'm standing at the moment. It is roughly 24 kilometers from the start of the gravel on the Oudtshoorn side to the end of the gravel on the Prince Albert side. As part of this personal project of mine, to walk as many of the mountain passes in South Africa, I obviously want to be able to walk the 3 kloofs, and Baviaanskloof is already under my belt. So what I'm left with now is Holgat and then the Undertaking. Holgat, also known as Die Hel, is 55 kilometers long, and the idea would be to do the first 37 kilometers down into Die Hel, then the next day walk the final 18 to the end of the kloof. The Undertaking is a historic ox wagon trail in the Mossel Bay rural area, starting at the top of the R327 at Holgat Pass. The first section is 19 kilometers to Bonnydale Farm, then a further 22 kilometers to the R328 Tar Road. Another majestic pass is the Bergplaas on the Roggeveld Plateau in the Sutherland region. It's a short 10-kilometer pass, but with an altitude gain of 820 meters.